That's cool.
Figured give you guys a look at something I'm going to make. This is very simple, but it's very useful at the same time. So I'll set up the camera and we'll do some hammering. Now I'm hoping it's light enough that you can see what I'm doing. I purposely keep the space dark so that I can see the colors of the metal. But yeah, what I was saying, I keep the space sort of dark so I can see the colors of the metal, and it really just makes it easier to do the work that way. Oh, I found my hammer. This is the one I was looking for. I prefer forging points with it. It's got about the same size head, or same size face, but it's a little bit more curved, and it's obviously a bit heavier. This is 2.5 pounds, right there, and that one's 16 ounces, so a little bit heavier. All right, much better. And once I get to that point, I have to use the smaller ball peen. I'll show you here. Compare them in size. This is the one I was using, and this is the one I'm going to use now. The reason I use this smaller one is because you can nibble away at the end much easier, and it gets right to the point. Right to the point. It's able to hammer right to the tip of the point, unlike the bigger one. Oh, excuse me. Because it's got a larger face, it doesn't get as close to the tip as you'd like. We're going to do something a little bit different with this one. We are squaring it off rather than rounding it off, just because I want to see what it looks like. I've never done it before. Hope that forge isn't too loud for you guys. It is pretty quiet. That's pretty square. Yeah, I like my forge. I built it myself. Now, what I would normally do is curl the end of this and then bend it to whatever shape I needed by, this is just an example piece, but by bending it over the end of the anvil, it would bend it 90 degrees, or if I wanted to put a curl in it or whatever. What I'm going to do with this is put it inside my cheater pipe and then put a bend in it. A little too much of a bend. That's pretty good. And then I can just refine that against the end of the anvil. Now we're going to go back to the large ball peen hammer to straighten these bends out just a little bit. Now you can't see what I'm doing. That's my refined angle. I think I made this 90 a little bit too long. But the great thing about metalwork, especially this kind of metalwork, if it's too long, you just keep scrolling it. Alright. Scrolls are pretty easy once you get used to how they work. Alright, we continue our scroll. I think that should be okay. That is indeed alright. Just Gotta fix that up somehow. Now this next bend I'm going to do on the vise. Now, I want the bend to be at 4 1/4 inches. So, put it like this. From the inside, 4 1/4. Grab the hammer. Now, the size of this is not really important. From inside to inside, we got just over 4 1/2, which is fine. If it were really important on the size of this, I would then refine that bend, but it's fine. I don't need to do anything to it. Alright, we're going to put a third bend in it now. I have to use the pliers for this because it's getting kind of short. Oh. Let's not melt rope today. Yeah. I really need to clean up. Alright. Now, as you can see, we have something that looks kind of strange. But you'll see what I'm going to do with it in a sec here. And it's kind of out of whack. I gotta bend those angles a little bit. Alright, we're nearly done. Just a few steps left. This one, flatten about 3 inches. Alright, now you just have to pop those holes. It's kind of difficult, especially when this damn thing cools down so quickly. This is just a sheet metal hammer for doing body work on cars, but it's got a nice point on it. I should have just drilled this. Would have been so much easier. So the battery's kind of going dead on my camera. I had to do that off camera, but I did get this punch to go through from the other side. I'm just trying to clean up the hole now. Oh. Alright. Probably can't see this because this camera's not that good at close up, but you can see those 2 weird circles. It's because I started punching through this way, punched through this way, then I flipped it over and I punched through that way. So that tiny piece of metal is all that's left between those 2, and it's probably maybe 1/6 or 1/7 thou thick. Alright, as you can see, one's popped out, the other one's just hanging on by a thread there. So we'll just take the pliers and pop that out. Alright, as you can see, one of the holes is a little fucked up, but that's okay. Now, we cut it off. And for that, I'm going to use the vise, but I got to heat it up first. Alright, you remember in the, was it the last one or the one before? I'm not really sure. I showed you this hot cut. Well, this is what it's for. See? All I do, take and break that off with my pliers, and away we go. Get back here, you fucking prick. Alright. We're going to have to... Yeah, I'm going to have to go to the vise for this. So I'll show you when I get back. Alright. All done. Where are we? There we are. Doesn't really look that... I blackened this the same way I blackened some of my knives. I do it to every piece I make in the forge, just because it prevents rust. But it doesn't look all that black on the camera. But just so you're wondering what it was, you mount that on the wall, and you get your toilet paper holder. Do the exact same thing, with or without this bend, for paper towels. Just make it longer. You could mount it on the wall like that. Just have a little curly or something on the top without that top bend. But yeah, I saw that at the Cottage Life show. I thought that was cool. I wanted to make one. But that's all it is.